The story begins with an elderly man who was imprisoned for the homicide of his wife, but he has regained his freedom after his innocence was proven, since the tragedy surrounding his wife's death was, in reality, an accident. Afterward, his son Ryan is introduced, who, after the loss of his mother and the imprisonment of his father, has managed to survive by selling insects, despite his youth, and has thus stayed afloat. In that context, his friend Carlos is also introduced, always willing to support him. Sometime later, Ryan returns home and finds his father in a room, understanding that he has been released from prison. However, it does not provoke any emotion in him, and he withdraws to his room. During those moments, Ryan begins to reflect on various matters until his father enters. He tries to greet him and expresses how much he missed him, because Ryan never visited him during his imprisonment. This is their first meeting after the father's imprisonment. At that moment, the father asks him to sit down to eat and talk about the home and work. During dinner, his father asks how Ryan managed to take care of himself and live alone all this time. Ryan replies, "Even if you had been here, it would not have changed anything for me." Even so, his father reveals his intention to marry again, with the hope that a woman can take care of both of them and the home. Ryan remains silent and heads back to his room. Next day, his father approaches Ryan's room, sits beside him, and takes him to work, teaching him about farming instead of collecting and selling insects. Upon arriving, Ryan resists getting out, but his father forces him to do so. In the middle of that, Ryan asks him why he wants to marry again and bring another woman into the home, considering that barely a year has passed since his mother's death. His father responds that his wife's death was fate and that he was not responsible for it. Ryan replies, "That is why they imprisoned you, for killing her." The father defends his innocence. However, Ryan rejects his father's words and insists that he was responsible for his mother's death. In addition, he warns him that he will not allow his father to be happy with his new wife. Faced with this, the father turns around, visibly angry. As punishment, Ryan is forced to return home on foot. In his home, Ryan raises a venomous scorpion which he feeds with a new insect every day. The next day, his father returns home and sits beside him, informing him that he has found a divorced woman willing to marry him and take care of both of them. Then he takes him to meet her. At that moment, Ryan feels anxious and washes his hands over and over again in the bathroom to avoid the meeting. The next day, Ryan retreats to his room while his father remains outside. At that moment, he watches his stepmother while she changes clothes, but she notices his presence and quickly covers herself. Ryan feels extremely frightened and tells his friend, "My father married a 20-year-old girl." His friend laughs, since Ryan's father is 55 years old. In the home, his stepmother takes care of dinner, tidies the place, and tries to serve Ryan food, saying, "I made your favorite dish, the one your mother used to cook." However, Ryan sets the food back down and leaves. The next day, while his stepmother washes his clothes, Ryan finds the scorpion and shows it to her to scare her, but she laughs and asks him to let her continue with her work. At that moment, Ryan tries to help her and asks why she decided to marry a man his father's age. She explains to him that she had no choice, since she was divorced and needed to remarry quickly before people started to whisper about her. Ryan replies, "You deserve a young man like you instead of wasting your life with someone my father's age." After this, Ryan puts on the shirt that she washed for him, and his stepmother tells him that he looks attractive. He smiles and mentions that he would be the ideal man for her to marry. Suddenly, Ryan tries to get close to her, but she steps aside and tells him never to do it again. Ryan laughs, saying, "You surely need a young man in your life, because you enjoyed being watched." His stepmother remains silent and leaves. At that moment, Ryan leaves with his friend, and both of them head to the pool. Meanwhile, his stepmother stays at home with Ryan's father. When Ryan returns, he discovers the refrigerator full of food, but he becomes irritated by the noises coming from the room. Shortly afterward, he heads to his father's room, making sure that no one sees him go in, and returns after dawn. At that moment, he sees his stepmother in the bathroom taking a shower, and curiously, she notices him, but pays no attention to him. He takes advantage of the opportunity and places the scorpion on his father's bed. Fortunately, his father feels the scorpion before it stings him. Then his father confronts him and asks if he was the one who did that. Ryan confesses that he was the one who put the scorpion there, and his father slaps him in front of his stepmother, killing the scorpion that Ryan had raised with such care. Next day, his father warns him that he must not repeat what happened, and tries to explain to him that he is building a future for him. He also makes it clear that he suffers from a heart condition, and that his life could be at risk at any moment. Afterward, the father asks his son to keep working on the farm they are running together, hoping he will become a farmer with his own place one day. instead of spending his time catching and selling insects for such little gain. However, Ryan still shows no interest in his father's intentions and harbors resentment, expressing that even if his father dies, he would not care. At home, Ryan turns the music volume all the way up and leaves without his father noticing. Annoyed by the noise, his father heads to Ryan's room only to find it empty. At that moment, Ryan is with a troublesome group and asks them to finish off his father in exchange for doing what they order. After reaching an agreement, he returns home. Unfortunately, his father finds out that the group are in fact his friends, who reveal to him that his son and his wife had plans to get rid of him in order to inherit the house and the farm. In addition, they inform him that his wife was unfaithful to him with his son, who, according to what they claimed, confessed it. Upon arriving home, his father sits silently in front of his wife, who asks him if everything is all right. He answers by asking her if she really had an affair with his son. She tells him that she was forced to marry him, and she never wanted to do so from the beginning. When she saw Ryan, she felt attracted to him and fell in love. After this, the father takes his son to the farm, as is his custom. Upon arriving, Ryan works enthusiastically, while his father remains silent, dedicating himself to his work. Then, he takes out a knife and stabs it into the forest, saying, "This is the knife they asked me to kill you with." Ryan takes the knife, closes it, and his father asks him, "Why have you done that?" Ryan replies, "Because you killed my mother and got married before a year had passed since her death." At that moment, his father slaps him and tells him that he is just as bad as he is, since he had a relationship with his stepmother, showing contempt for his mother's memory. After this, the father leaves the farm, walking away burdened by the actions of his only son, who believes that he is responsible for his mother's death. Ryan calls out to him until his father falls to the ground because of a heart attack. When he approaches, Ryan finds his father motionless and quickly takes him to the hospital. There, the doctors inform him that his father has died because of his heart condition. Ryan remains beside his father's lifeless body, flooded with remorse for what he has done. The moral is that resentment, assumptions, and a lack of communication can destroy what might still be saved. Clinging to blame without seeking the truth or forgiving turns pain into violence and ends in tragedy. Hatred does not repair losses, it only breeds more loss. And so the story comes to an end. If you liked this video, do not hesitate to watch some of these summaries that I made especially for you.